Move on, Joe, man.
Come on, brother.
Let's move on, man. Next topic, man. We still in the NFL. Yeah, we got some NBA topics for y'all too, man. But for now, we still in the NFL because Aaron Rodgers is still looking for a home, Joe.
Is
He's
he?
still looking for somewhere to sign, right? I mean, we don't know where he at right now, but we know that apparently he wants to play for the Minnesota Vikings. He's waiting on the Vikings to say we want you as well. He waiting at the altar, waiting on the I do, and the Vikings thinking about it like, should we really do this, right? But he also got the Giants waiting on him as well, and the Steelers potentially waiting on him. So, Joe, if you're Aaron Rodgers, where would you sign?
If I'm Aaron Rodgers, if the Vikings want me, that's the best destination, obviously. Because the three destinations we're hearing are the Vikings, the Giants, and the Steelers. And I heard some talks, not from the organization, but people saying will be a good destination for them, the Raiders. Because oh my goodness, you got oh my gosh, the coaches. I'm losing my train of thought.
Coach for who?
For the Seahawks. He called the Seahawks. Now he with the Raiders. Oh my goodness.
Pete? No, not Pete.
Pete Carroll.
Yeah, Pete Carroll. Okay.
We got Pete Carroll, an agent coach, who's in the win now mode. Tom Brady, the GM, not GM, but the part owner who's involved in the moves. They are looking to win now, and they could potentially draft the quarterback that comes in and sit behind Rodgers, and stuff like that, and they could be on the win now mode. But they got Geno Smith though. So, but here's the thing though. If I'm Rodgers, I'm going to the Vikings. But if I'm the Vikings, why do I want Rodgers? Like, I'm serious. Like, I draft JJ McCarthy early. He's a lottery pick. We talking NBA terms. He's an early draft pick. He looked pretty good in the preseason. He had control of the starting position over Sam Darnold. He was a starter. He gets hurt. Sam Darnold comes in and have his best year of his career. You right there to get the number one seed, just you and the Lions, and you lose at the end of the year because of Sam Darnold. One thing about JJ McCarthy, I didn't like him in college, but he did win a national championship. Mm-hmm. And we had a guy named Mario came on our show sometime like after the regular season, and he does boxing stuff, right? Punches Point, shout out to Punches Point. You see him in the boxing chat. He came on the show one time, Vikings fan. He said one thing the Vikings have never had is a proven winner. We had a lot of quarterbacks. We had a lot of talented quarterbacks, but we never had a proven winner. And he said at least JJ McCarthy has won. You know what I mean? He said he has won at least in college. So if I'm the Vikings and I draft this guy this high, I'm going to give him an opportunity to start. And last thing I want to do is bring Aaron Rodgers in. Because, sorry, Aaron Rodgers, you're a great player, but you're known to be an a-hole. I'm sorry, you just are. You're just known to be that type of guy. But people could look at Jordan Love and say, but look at Jordan Love. He turned out to be okay. I mean, has he? I mean, do you see the playoff last year? That was on some praise to your team. but people might say, look at Jordan Love. He came behind Aaron Rodgers and look how he turned out. I get it. But you got rid of Sam Darnold because you could have kept Sam Darnold. You got rid of Sam Darnold so JJ can just walk in that starting job. Now, Steelers. I think if obviously the Vikings is not right there, I think the Steelers will be the next option. Some people don't understand the Giants. I don't think the Giants is as bad as people are saying they are because they have, in the offseason, they have done some things in that defense. They still have a decent defense when healthy. They really do. You got Dayball on his last leg on a prove it now year, him and the GM, and Rodgers on that same wave. You know what I mean? On that same way, they all on that. We need to prove ourselves. The only tough part about it, you're walking into a tough division. You got the Super Bowl champions there. You got the NFC championship game representatives in your division and other quarterbacks. But it's the same situation with the Steelers. Like you got to worry about, Joe. We saw Joe Burrow. You worry about Lamar Jackson, right? So Cleveland is Cleveland. But I think the Steelers will be a good destination for him. And also Achilles injury. When you get an Achilles injury, especially at his age, and you come back like right away, basically, right? Soon he got healed, he started working out and stopped playing. It takes time to get back from that Achilles injury. So I do think Aaron Rodgers, believe it or not, will be better this year than he was last year. Because the Achilles injury is probably 50% physical and 50% mental, really. because you are thinking about re-injuring Achilles. And some people say, but look at KD. Yeah, think about it. KD said like 2 years. KD had time to mentally get over that Achilles injury. Like, that don't just happen overnight. You see guys come in that first year, they look crazy. Look at Kirk Cousins last year. He fell off a cliff out of nowhere. But Kirk Cousins had an opportunity this year. He might be a little better because of that mental part of the Achilles. Look at Aaron Rodgers last year. Towards the end of the season, he started playing a little better. So I do think, but if he goes to the Steelers, they will have to shore up that offensive line. I honestly don't like Arthur Smith being his offensive coordinator. I don't like that. But outside of the Vikings, that's his only hope for real. That's his best option is going to Pittsburgh because him and Mike Tomlin is on that. Also, like I said about the Giants, Mike Tomlin is, I need to get back into this top 5 coach conversation. That's not what he thinking, but he got to be looked at that. Everybody's looking down on Mike Tomlin right now. He hasn't won a playoff game since like 2014. So they both are chasing like redemption. So I like the Steelers. But if I'm the Steelers, man, how he acting, got the towel on the beach, I'm waiting my decision. Hey, Russ, come back, man. I'm going to drive a QB in the draft. I'm going to drive another QB. You sit behind Russ because, in my opinion, you ain't winning a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson. So let's bring Russ. Russ is a model citizen. He's going to teach the kid whoever you bring in. And then Russ play for 1 year and let the kid come the next year. That's what I would do. I ain't waiting for no Aaron Rodgers.
Bruh, I think the Steelers, either this year or next year, need to package something up and move up in the draft and go get a quarterback, bro. Because we know this year they're gonna do the same thing, bro. They're gonna be probably around that 9-8, that 11-6, that like 10-7 range ish, right? Just depending on who they put back there. They're gonna make the playoffs and probably be one and done again, depending on the matchup. Like that's just kind of what their routine is right now. Bro, package something up, move up and get a young quarterback, bro. Take another shot. You took a shot a while ago at Kenny Pickett. It didn't work out. Take another shot. Keep taking shots till you find a guy, bro. Because, like, keep on trying to move on to these older guys, whether it be Aaron Rodgers, whether it be Russell Wilson, whether it be, okay, now we got Justin Fields. Maybe we can mold Justin Fields into something. Bro, just go get a young guy, bro. Go get a young guy. Give him an opportunity to come in and play, bro. If I'm Aaron Rodgers, I think you took the words right out of my mouth, bro. Yes, the next destination for him, if you want to play at a high level, it should be the Vikings for sure. I'm not completely sleeping on the Steelers from the standpoint of I do like having DK and Pickens, and I do think he'd have a decent year, but they still are not nearly as high. Like I said, it's probably 11-6, so it's not as high as, man, Minnesota feel like they right there. Mm-hmm. They feel like they kind of like right there, bro. And so I'm thinking Minnesota for him, and I'm not gonna lie. I like JJ McCarthy. I think JJ McCarthy is going to be a solid NFL quarterback, especially with Kevin O'Connell coaching. I think he's going to be very solid. And like I always say, you go to Minnesota right now with Addison and Justin Jefferson and Aaron Jones in the backfield. They're revamping their offensive line. You got Hawkinson. It's a nice furnished apartment you moving into, bro. And it's some nice furniture, but it's a nice crib you moving into. All you gotta do is kick your feet up and don't knock the TV off the wall. That's all you gotta do, bro. That's really all you gotta do out there, bro. So I think he's gonna be good in that situation. I'm curious to see how his knee, the meniscus tear, continues to progress over the offseason. I'm pretty sure it's probably getting close to 100% now. He had to hold a meniscus tear, especially as a young guy. But I'm not gonna lie, if I'm Minnesota, I'm slightly considering this, bro. I get why they're taking their time. I kind of get it. Ultimately, I don't think I would. I think I would want JJ McCarthy. We spent I think they drafted on number 8, number 10 in the draft last year. You know, you want to go out there and get a young guy a chance. But there's a side of me that thinks with this team, Joe, and it's hard for me because I said the same thing about the Jets, right? I said the same thing about the Jets, Joe. Yeah, I said, so before you kill me, give me some grace, man. Like I said the same thing about the Jets. I'm like, man, with the Jets, da. But like you said, bro, like, what would it take to get the Vikings over the hump? He knows the division very well. He knows Detroit very well. He knows the Chicago. It's not the same team, yes. But like when it comes to like that mental edge, he knows the division very well, bro. I would consider bringing in Aaron Rodgers. But the caveat would be, Aaron Rodgers, we're not giving you $100 million. That's where you get carried away. We're not giving you $100 million. Because I saw a report that said he won $100 million. We're not giving you. We not throwing the type of bank at you like that. What we'll consider, we might give you. I don't know. We might give you 30. I don't know. We might give you 30 mil for a year. I don't know. 15 mil. I don't know. We gonna throw you something. And it's a 1-year deal, bro. It's a 1-year deal because we got these young fella. But we're also kind of even though they're kind of young on offense, we're also kind of in this window where you drop a solid quarterback in there that just plays good when it matters. Bro, the NFC is a conference that is open. I know Philadelphia just won. It's hard to repeat. And I'm an Eagles fan. It's hard to repeat. The NFC, bro, with the Rams improving, with the Lions losing their 2 coordinators, right? Mm-hmm. Washington is improving, but they still got a young quarterback. Even though I like Jaden, but he's still young. We'll see how he is in the second season. When you look around Bears, when you look around, like it's not a team. Even though the Eagles, my team is my team, but it's nobody outside of Philly. Let's take Philly out of it. It's nobody outside of Philly that I'm looking at like. If Rodgers plays well, the Vikings can't beat. I think the Vikings could beat anybody. I think the Vikings had a chance to beat anybody when they had Sam Darnold. I'm gonna tell you something that I didn't say publicly. The one team I was a little nervous about in the playoffs was Minnesota. That was the one team I was a little nervous about.
Was it the defense though?
It was the defense. And I'm blanking on my boy name. Gilmore. Gilmore got AJ number. He got AJ number, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Last time I saw the matchup, bro, it wasn't pretty for my boy AJ. So I was like, oh, like they got Gilmore over there. They got an opportunistic defense. I like their defensive coordinator. He like to mix it up. He might confuse Jalen, might force some interceptions potentially, or some turnovers, or the case may be. Right, their defensive line is getting home. And then on the other side of the ball, if Sam Darnold plays decent, bro, you got Justin Jefferson and Addison. Slay is still nice, but he's not the same Slay that shut down Jefferson before. You got Jones in the backfield. So I was looking at Minnesota like, all right now, all right. Now, hopefully they don't get this 1 seed. They come see us. They got to come through Philly. But that was the 1 seed. And I never said it publicly. I'm saying it now on the show. Because we Super Bowl champs now, so it is what it is now. But that was the one team I had my eyes on. Like, I don't know, the Vikings will be an interesting matchup for us. You know what I mean? And then you got KOC. So I feel like the Vikings, when I look at them, they are, I believe, the definition of a quarterback away. Maybe you get Aaron, he could be that guy just for 1 year. So I think about it, but ultimately, I would go with the young guy. I wouldn't want to bring Aaron in because Aaron be having issues with his coaches and not the best. It's just a lot that comes with Aaron. And if Aaron is not playing like Aaron, it's just a waste of time, bro. So if I'm the Vikings, I'm thinking about it, but I'm going with the young guy. If I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'm calling KLC every day like, hey, bro. Hey, I'm a Super Bowl champ already. I could come get you another. I'm trying everything I can, bro. And if that don't work, then I probably would go to Pittsburgh and throw to DK and George Pickens.
How much he's getting paid will tell me how he will act this year.
Okay.
If he's getting paid big bucks, I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
He gonna think he gonna run the show and that stuff, but he getting paid 15 mil less than Sam Darnold, then I'm with that. He might humble himself. But I think the Vikings should have done, instead of getting Aaron Rodgers, they should have went and got Marcus Mariota. You know, like Marcus Mariota was, this is why I'm saying this. He was heaven sent for Jalen Daniels. He really was. He helped Jalen Daniels so much. And when he came in the game, he played his part.
And he won.
And he won both times. He came in against Carolina, he won. And looked good. He came in against Dallas, and he won. And looked good. He was clutch. Dude turned a game winner. It was 4-1. He ran it for a first down. He threw Terry the game winning touchdown. And he's a vet who's been in every scenario. He's been the starter, he's been the backup. He's been a number 2 pick in the drive and everything. So he can sit by, because I think he is still dealing with that meniscus. So they're still trying to like slow walk it. So Mariota could have still like started early in the season, and he could have walked in once he got healthy, or once Mariota fell off a cliff, and then he come in. So if you want to get a vet in, but Aaron Rodgers ain't the answer. With Mark, come on, man, like don't ruin your rookie, man. Unless you got to change your heart.
I get it. I get it. I definitely get where you coming from, man. I'm just. It's just if he didn't come with all of the extra stuff, then I probably would be more inclined to do it. But seeing as though he come with all of this extra stuff, it's just like it ain't just the player, it's the personality. Then it's like,
AJ, if he didn't have the extra stuff, teams would line up for him.
Yeah,
because he's all like last year was first over Achilles. I think he will be better this year, performance wise. But how damaging will he be for your rookie going forward? That's why I want to, like, you're a young guy. Like, you want to show him. And Kevin O'Connor is a good guy. Like, you hear great things about him, the relationship he has with him and his quarterbacks. And then if he go in there and they have problems, that's a problem. You know, him and Matt LaFleur, they come from the same tree.
That's true. That's true.
That's I don't know, man. But still, let's get A-Rod. But if he taking too long, go get Russ, man. Y'all not winning nothing this year. And they can get Jackson Dart. Get him. And then have him sit behind Russ. Russ is a model citizen, gonna do his job. He gonna teach him the ropes. You feel me? And you get a full season ready, play with DK. And the type of receivers they are, Russ might just be the better QB because Aaron Rodgers ain't like this gunslinger no more. Right. He's more like a more accurate thrower. If you have a great route runner with Aaron Rodgers, that might be better. But DK and George Pickens are two deep threats. That might be better for Russell Wilson. So I'll go with Russ. Right
you heard? I don't know if you heard about who Jackson Dart. He mocks his game after, or he takes his game after. You hear about that?
What do you say?
Take a wild guess.
Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson,
Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts. He said, "Yeah, I watch a lot of Jalen Hurts film. That's why I model my game after, man. I watch a lot of Jalen Hurts film. That's my guy. That's what I'm trying to emulate, basically."
Dang, no wonder he not, man. Honestly,
hey, I walked right into that one. That was crazy. That was crazy.
He's underrated though. He's super like Jalen Hurts. He's super underrated.
Yep. And he come in and play for the first year and
CTC Carl. He is high on Jackson Dart. He's high on him.
I get it. I wouldn't be mad. Either way, like I said, I think the Steelers need to go young. I think they need to go young, bro. Getting Aaron Rodgers ain't going. It's not like the Vikings where, like you said, they got a shot at a Super Bowl, really, potentially. This ain't that. You muted, I think. No, I can't hear you. I'm not sure. Can you hear me? I can't hear you, bro.
All right, what about now?
There we go.
Sorry.
I was like, am I tripping over here?
if we talking old Steelers defense with Aaron Rodgers, then
yes.
But that Steelers defense ain't the same. Like all them playoff losses he got, go look at the defense in those playoff losses. They were bad.
Yeah.
They go bad. Including last year. Remember Lamar and Derrick Henry ran a field day on them dudes.
Facts.
Yeah. But enough about Minnesota Vikings. Let's talk about the Minnesota Timberwolves. All right. So the Timberwolves.